Good morning and namaste, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. I can see there are 899 participants as of now. And thank you once again, Vivek. Thank you, Krishna, for letting us host these speakers so that they can share their best practices with all of us and our colleagues on this line. They have yesterday when I was speaking to them, they have actually taken a lot of interest कि वो किस तरह से ये session they should हमारे लिए design कर सके कि because Martha is from Hungary and Michelle is from Malaysia, but they were so keen that they will design specially so that we get some very important practices. मैं उसके बारे में ज़्यादा नहीं बोलूँगा because I want them to share, and you to be excited to listen to them. And yes, Sudhakar, thank you for being the host and coordinating and seeing that Indresh and me get a few minutes to speak. So I just quickly, Vivek and everybody, just want to share about the MCC and the MDRT benefits. MDRT benefits non-members के लिए भी है. आप MDRT website पे जाके आप बहुत सारे articles download कर सकते हैं. And ये जो speakers है, इनके भी articles और sessions आपको MDRT non-members and member site पे मिलेंगे. MDRT पे जाके you can आप blogs पे register कर सकते हैं. And when you register for the blogs, you will get articles in English और हिंदी में दोनों में आपको मिलेगा. जो जैसे इंद्रेश और हमें एंड काफी लोग जो MDRT मेंबर्स है, हमें बहुत लाभ मिला है क्रॉस लर्निंग से. एंड उसी क्रॉस लर्निंग के लिए जो आपके स्पीकर्स है मार्था एंड मिशेल, they are going to come and talk to you about that. And yes, I also really thank and acknowledge Indresh to connect with them and request them for their time. जैसे मार्था के लिए आज ऑलरेडी वहाँ पे 7:30 बजे है सुबह का, and she's absolutely energetic even at 7:30 in the morning to take our session, and she missed her morning workout for us. So thank you once again, and they will be speaking in English, so आप लोग बहुत intentional रहिए. And the team जो है very kind of Krishna and everybody and the trainers, वो जो main points है, they will ensure that हम सबको whoever wants it in Hindi, they will capture all the main points so that we can go back and use it today itself to increase our business. So thank you so much, and over to you, Indresh. I'll mute myself. Thank you once again. Enjoy the session. Yeah.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Vivek, and thank you, Krishna, for organizing this meeting. So let me not take in much of time and introduce the first speaker for the day. The first speaker is Marta from Hungary. She's in 4 times MDRT, and you will not believe that during this lockdown, she's already completed a production for COT in the 3 months. And she was a main MDRT main platform speaker in LA in 2018, wherein she spoke to 10,000 audience at one go. So
okay, we can see you and hear you, Martha. Go ahead.
Great. Namaste, everyone. Hello, my fellow friends from India. It is really nice to be here with you today. And I'm not sure, but did you have some really bad and difficult days recently? Did you feel like maybe even just for a moment that it would be easier simply just to quit altogether? That's exactly how I felt in March of 2016. I remember I was in Budapest in my apartment, the blinds were down, and I was crying. Because all situations in my life and nothing seemed to work. I was right after a breakup. My calendar was totally empty, and I just didn't understand what's happening to me. A few months prior to that, I was in a vacation in the Caribbean with my partner. I was the top advisor at my company. And then all of a sudden, everything is gone. No partner, no appointment, and no prospects. So why am I here today? I'm here today to share with you the best practices help me the most to come out of that bad situation. I would like to share with you exactly and in details which were the best ideas help me to get back to the top. I know that recently we all face some different, new and changed times. And many of you might feel more worse than I felt in those days in 2016. But I would like to show you the way that even if there is nothing what seems to work, there is a way to go high and there is a way to go to work. Did you ever dream to work with, for example, high net worth individuals? 6 years ago, I was totally convinced that it was impossible for me to get into the high net worth niche market, and that it was totally impossible for me to get a strong personal referral from a high net worth individual. Today, in the first quarter, thanks to my system, I was able to qualify court of the table in MDRT. So, are you ready to start your own journey and to learn with me today? Then let's go. I would like to share with you an interesting sign, because the Chinese used to brush strokes to write the word crisis from two signs. It is danger and opportunity. In crisis, always be aware of danger, but always recognize the opportunity. For me, every bad situation brought something good and something new to my life. So let me show you the ways I learned in 2016 to help you grow your business. In this digital world we are living, it is so important what is shown on you on the internet. So I would like to ask you that today, what does Google say about you? What Google says matters. Your prospect might want to read about you before a first meeting, and there must be something positive to read. It might be useful for you to generate some online content. For example, writing articles, have a completed LinkedIn profile, speaking at online conferences. What I do in my practice is that I write professional articles to the Hungarian Insurance and Bankers magazines. Both are online magazines, and there are many ways I can use them. For example, before a first meeting, even if it's offline or if it's online, I can send these articles to my clients. We always send out an email before the first meeting about the details of the meeting and a link to one of my articles. And this is something that helps to foster trust in the prospect's mind. And people, it's something that will make you look like an expert, and people love experts. It helps you to foster trust in the prospect's mind. If you would like to grow your business, the other important thing is that you need to develop a system. And the word system indicates something that we do on a regular basis, becomes a habit, and consists of multiple steps. And by the way, this is what Olympian champions do. Take Michael Phelps, for instance. This man has got 23 gold medals and has always followed his system to get ready for the fight, to get ready 2 hours before the race started. You can go on in my presentation. He always 200 and 300 meters, and I personally started this business for more than a decade, and I worked as a university student at the beginning. My first big turning point in my career came in 2014, when I decided from wanting to work with anybody to start only focus on the high net worth market. Today, I have 3 target markets. I work with business owners, CEOs, and professionals. And I advise you to choose your own target market as well, because if you want to work with anybody as a client, or with whom do you want to work with, is 100% your decision. So your first important thing to do, if you would like to grow your referral system and work with the high net worth individual, is to know who is your potential client. Why is it important to know that? Especially, it has been made some years ago, a research which was basically about the reasons why prospects do not give you referrals. What do you think was the #1 reason prospects don't give you referrals? Actually, the #1 reason is that you don't ask from them. Just a little bit. Now you are at home, you might be alone, a little bit think about it. Did it happen with you in the past 1 year that you met a prospect and forgot to ask for referrals? It really works to ask for them because many of them are happy to help you. The other thing is what the research said was that one of the reasons prospects don't give you referrals is that they don't know with whom you are happy to meet. And my dear friends, if you don't know, they will not know it as well. So it might worth for you to think about who your ideal client is. How old are they? If they are married, which magazines they read, which are the blogs they follow, do they attend some conferences? Knowing your own target market has many advantages. For example, I personally do my homework, so I know which magazines they read, so I read that. I know which blogs they follow, so I follow that and I can think like them. Also, for example, I have a lot of clients in Hungary from the automotive industry, and when there is a fair conference organized by their professional association, I always visit the event because I know that my clients and my prospects are going to be there. So just imagine, while I am having a good conversation in a conference with my existing clients, in an event like that, there is a big chance that some of their acquaintance is going to come by. So while I'm having a terrific time with my existing clients, they actually bring me new prospects. So I ask you to do the homework and think about this. Who is your ideal client? Once you know that, I advise you to go to your existing clients to start building your system. Who is your top 20 clients? If there were only clients like them, it would both make you feel fantastic and would significantly grow your business. I advise you to ask them for, if we are offline, for a coffee or a lunch, or even now in this situation, you have the possibility to approach these people and ask them to have a Zoom or whatever you like, an online conversation. What can you tell them? You just simply call them that there are many ways. They are your top 20 clients. You can tell them the following, that now that you are at home, you think about to change your business, you would like to improve your business, and they are important people and clients for you. So you would like to ask for their help. The sentence would go like this: Dear Mr. Client, I hope you are fine in this situation. I have thought about my business and I decided that I will take this time and opportunity to improve my business. You are an important person and client for me, so I would like to ask for your help and ask for a little feedback from you about the work I do for you. When would it be appropriate for you to have an online conversation? Remember, you are speaking with your top 20 clients with whom you have a very good connection, a very good relation, and if there were only clients like them, you would significantly grow your business. Many of them are going to say yes for you, and you can have the online conversation with them. And when you have the online meeting, you can go on. You are an important person and client for me. I would like to ask for your view. What are the things that make you feel satisfied as a client? Is there anything you would advise me to change? They are going to share with you their insight, and they are your top 20 clients. So I promise you, you will not really get some negative feedbacks from them. But at the same time, you can position them because you ask for their view. Every person is happy for that. And when they have shared it, you can go, oh, I have decided to change my business. And in the future, I would love to work with only clients like you. So who are the 3 people who are like you? And there will be a way I could talk to them. I promise you, if you try this, many of them will help you. I have just shared it with an agent recently. He immediately tried it and got 10 referrals from the client. So it's easy. You just need to do it. My second idea how to go on with the how to have a lot of new prospects is through centers of influences. They are actually people who interact with a lot of clients who are your ideal clients, who fit your ideal client profile. I work with them in a mutually beneficial manner, which means that we introduce each other clients. First, when you speak with them, you need to know if they are happy to extend their clientele and if they work with another financial advisor already. If not, you can just offer them to help each other grow the businesses. At this moment, I work with mortgage broker, factoring specialist, cost cutter, accountant, ager specialist. And I am glad to share with you that even now they give me referrals. And mostly the referrals I have received from them made me to qualify court of the table even now in this situation. What I do is that in my practice, I basically concentrate on saving plans and investment products, retirement planning. And when I have the first meeting, I make these issues part of my fact find. And when there is a need I identify by the client, I have the chance immediately to share with the client that I am a specialist of the things I have shared with him, but I have a team to help the client in other issues as well. And it really works because whenever I meet a client, many times, or I speak to them online, I can gain some referrals from my centers of influences. And my dear friends, this is simply the principle of reciprocity, which means that when you give a favor for a person, the automatic human behavior is that they immediately would like to give it back to you in return. So my experience is that whenever I was able to share, to help a center of influence with a referral, then I always got it back automatically from them. So the first thing you need to do is you try to give them something. To build connections with center of influences might take some time because you need to establish the relation. I time to time speak with them, maybe call them quarterly, or go and have an online coffee together, which is possible. And then then they are happy, I am happy, we have a good trust for each other. So far we have covered for you to get new prospects through your existing clients and the possibilities to have some center of influences. Now, my third idea for you, it is a business network event. As mentioned before, I work with entrepreneurs, professionals, and CEOs. Those are my target markets. And what I do is that I organize a network event for them. You can do it live, but you can do it also online. People are at home, they are in a different circumstances. Maybe they are a little bit struggling at home sometimes. They miss social things, they miss to see people, and you can be the one to have them to see other people. And for example, for entrepreneurs to change ideas, how to deal with this situation as an entrepreneur. So the business network event is is not from, oh, excuse me, I just saw a message from Indrash. Is that for me? So you can't hear me well? Can you please confirm if you can hear me well?
Can.
Yes?
We can hear you
Yes.
clearly. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so it was not for me. Thank you so much. I just wanted to make sure that you hear me. Thank you. So, so this networking is not about me, but about giving some values for my existing clients and center of influences. It is about connecting people. So for the event, I invite 2 or 3 centers of influences. For example, a mortgage broker, someone who can help with other kind of insurances. And then I give them the possibility to introduce themselves in 10 minutes at the beginning. What is very important that these short presentations should not be salesy at all, but it is about giving some valuable information for people. And I like to do this because it's a kind of a win-win situation, and I like those ones. It means that you invite your existing clients. I call them always personally and tell them that this is an event organized only for VIP clients, and of course, they are instead of them. They will get some interesting values, and they have the possibility to meet and get to know with some new people. So, which means my existing clients are happy because even if they cannot make the event, they know that I thought of them and I care about them, which is so important. Always, but especially nowadays. My centers of influences are happy because I immediately introduce them to existing clients, and I am happy as well because I ask my center of influences to also invite some people they know so I can meet new prospects. So at the beginning, there are the presentations, then everyone can introduce themselves, and when it is live, your job is to find a way to connect to people and make sure that everyone meets everyone. Maybe even if not everyone, but every guest should meet at least 2 or 3 new people. If you do it online, then you can be the host. You can ask them with whom to connect. So you have the possibility to do it. I started to do this in 2016, and even if from the first network event I organized, I have referral now. So let's go on. My first idea for you about prospecting is really good today because it is about LinkedIn. I'm not sure how many of you have already used LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has now over 500 million members, and it is made to connect professionals with professionals, which means it really works a little bit like Facebook. You can make friends, but in the meantime, it is about professionals. And what I do through LinkedIn, and the first step for you should be to have a completed LinkedIn profile. You can feel really many information about that, and feel free to add me on LinkedIn and let's be friends there as well. But you can give your title, your working experience, education, volunteering, publication, skills. You can have a really good profile. And even if you are new to the business, I think it's a great way for you to find the people you have in your network. Because what happens is in LinkedIn is that it's the same than Facebook. You can see the friends of your friends. So you can also see who are the people, for example, who you both know. And I find that a great way to gain referrals. And what I do is that I develop a database through LinkedIn, which means that in that kind of platform, I am looking for my CEO, for the executive clients. And when I add them, there is a habit that they approve me to become friends as a professionals. I have a good profile. I know many people. They can see who are the people we both know. And also I add on LinkedIn all of my clients. So when there is the first or the second meeting, and I would like to ask a referral from my client, then instead of a very simple one-liner asking the clients like, who do you know? I can tell them the people they know. Because before I ask for referrals, I search their network on LinkedIn because I can see them, and I will choose the people who fit my ideal client profile. You can see how much it is important to know that. And then I tell them that I saw on LinkedIn that there are people who we both know. And there is some people who there is a while I would love to meet. So what do you think? What would be the best way I could meet them? Did I ask for referrals? Yes. Did I do it very directly? Not really, because I just tell the client that there are people who I would love to meet. I saw on LinkedIn that he knows them. What do you think? What would be the best way I could meet them? And many clients by themselves will offer you to help you in that. But if not, no problem. You can go on with one more question. What do you think? How would it be comfortable for you to introduce me to this person? And the reason I ask it like that, how would it be comfortable for you to do that, is that the research I mentioned before said that it's a very big problem for clients, that they cannot know, they don't really know how to introduce you to their acquaintance. It's a problem for them. And I just tell them, how would it be comfortable for you? Because I am interested in the ways it might be great for them. And then I give many possibilities, like, do you introduce me on phone? Do we have a Zoom meeting together? Why not do it this time? Or do you connect us through LinkedIn? Then the things will go okay, and we get back to life before, or to the new life we will have now. Should I come to your workplace and you introduce me personally? So you need to just give some possibilities and let the client choose from that. I believe LinkedIn is a really great way to make new connections, especially this time when we work from home. So my last idea for you for prospecting is about webinars. I love webinars because it is like a very great tool now. People are now really more open to do that. And I think that in these days, the two most important words for us are communication and activity. You need to stay active. And through webinars, you can generate some activity for yourself. What I did in the past 2 weeks was that I organized a webinar because I work with clients who have some investment insurance with me. I made the topic about the stock markets. We all know that there have been big changes in the markets. A big down, then a little up, big changes that influence our client. And I think it's a great time to show them that we care about them and that we keep our promise we have given them when we started to work together. So what I did is that I invited a very good speaker about the stock markets from a big investment company called JP Morgan. And I try to choose someone who is a good speaker, because my impression is that people are at home, it's very difficult, sometimes even hard for us, and they are happy if they get valuable information and they are a little bit entertained. We can entertain our clients now, and they will find good speaker who can make the audience happy. And what then look for the clients for the past 1 or 2 years with whom you wanted to make business, but maybe they said to you no at that time. You can call the people in your own natural network who you think that might be a prospect for you. So you can just make a really big list in the past from the past 1 or 2 years, the people with whom you get connected. And also I invited my center of influences because I want them to see how I care about my clients. And at the beginning of the event, we used the WebEx, but I think you can use Zoom or whatever you are comfortable with it. And at the beginning, I asked the CEO of MetLife Hungary to say a little introduction speech at the beginning. She mentioned me and my team by name. I think it's always better if someone else will say some good words about you than when you try to praise yourself. And then we made a 50 minutes presentation, and we tried to really take care that the presentation is something that can understand, that people can understand, because that's a real value for them. They go online, they are on their phone, on their laptop, maybe all day long. They read the news, you see those phrases, but they might not understand. So it's not just about giving information, but also a great way to give some education for the people. So after 50 minutes, people could make questions, and we were very happy. We have got a lot of questions, and they were able to do it through chat. We did it like that because basically when 5 people start to speak at the same time might not be the best in such an event. But if they make the questions through chat, then I read the questions, the speaker answered for it, and right after we have finished it, I have got many messages and many emails from clients that they are so happy that I organized this for them. They loved it and they want more. And you can think about which would be the topics, what could be interesting for your clients. For example, now I plan to do an event with a psychologist. In the news, I go on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, and I don't find too much funny things. So maybe if you just can give a little good impression and entertain your clients, they will be happy with you as well. Also, we think about inviting a doctor, speaking about health issues, which would also be interesting, I think, recently for the people. And what I do is that because people love it so much, what a great opportunity to ask referral from them. So now we organize the next one in 2 weeks, and I have already received, for example, from one center of influence, 15 CEOs that I should call them because this is something really great. So you can see that I build a system, I network, I try to give values for people. I have the LinkedIn, I have the center of influences, because I believe that if you have more channels that you have to approach new clients, then you can get referrals constant, always, all the time. And my dear friends, I used to hear an urban legend which says, knowledge is power, but don't believe it, because it is only implemented knowledge that is power. So all that I have just told you now is going to be worthy for you if you pick firstly 1 or 2 ideas, you go home, make a plan, and you start to implement it. So I'm wondering, Indrash, how many times do I have? Because I know Michelle will still speak.
Maybe another 5 minutes you can go, Marta.
Another 5 minutes. I have many contacts. So now we talked about some practical things, some scripts you can use to find new clients nowadays. What I would like to highlight for you that my impression is that it is not only important to give some facts for our clients and people, but also the feelings we can show them. And I am a great believer that, for example, with the high net worth individual, I always try to establish a very good connection. And more important now than before, because and also you need to show it for your clients. I believe that being empathetic, before researchers thought that it's a skill you are born with or without, but now we know that it's a skill can be learned and practiced. So I would like to share just a little few ideas how you can show it nowadays for your clients. To be empathetic requires us to be open and have an open heart and an open mind. When you speak with your client, you need to be present. They need to know that you are there and you are only focusing on them. So when you are working, just close the door or be in a place where it's only you who can be, and put your 100 focus on the person who is in front of you, for example, in Zoom, like we do it now. Also, I believe that it is important to watch your language. And now we need a little different skills to show the clients our empathy and establish a connection with them, because when you are meeting someone personally, then you have some tools to establish an atmosphere. Now you need to do it differently. And I believe that the voice you use is very important. You can show your understanding and you need to let them know that you really care about them and that I know that this situation, I so understand your feeling. Tell them, use this, and also is active listening. Active listening, or if you like, empathetic listening, means that we have the full attention for the other person we are speaking with. And the trick that makes this empathy work, it's going to be your honesty, what will make it truly work. So I believe that we are in a difficult times, but we have the possibility to find the ways, new clients. We can be very good in going online, because we are good in person. We can be great online as well. And what I truly believe in is that what will make this whole thing work, I have just told you. I told you many ideas. What will make it work is if you can do it from your heart. We have one of the noblest professions. We save families. We help children to get education. We help people to create the retirement of their dreams. And the only way to do it is if it's come from deep of our heart. It doesn't matter if we are there personally or if we go online, it is going to come true for people. I guarantee it. So I wish you a lot of success in this business, and I'm looking forward if you have some questions.
So I think we take the questions later. If anything is there, you can just put on the chat. So I'd like to thank Marta for giving us so much of knowledge and information. And one thing which I liked most is the last slide, do it from your heart. So I would also suggest each and everyone to go and check her talk, which she did on the MDRT main platform in 2018, because that is totally from her heart, which talks about her story and what are the things that she did with the mentor. So thank you, Marta, and
Thank you.
a huge round of applause for you.
Thank thank you so much. I really hope that I could help you. Everything I told you came from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
thank you for inviting me.
yeah,
And if you have questions, please feel free to approach me.
yeah. Sure, I do that, Marti. So thanks a lot. So we'll go on to the next speaker. The next speaker is Michelle Yeoh from Malaysia. She had been an connection zone speaker in 2019 as well as 2020, and she is the MDIT brand ambassador for Malaysia, as well as she has spoken in MDIT Malaysia Day in the main platform. So she is also going to talk about prospecting, but in a unique way, how she does it. So Michelle.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Michelle. Actually, I'm from Malaysia. Good to meet you all here. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the MDRT MCC in India to have the chance for me to actually share from Malaysia to India to all of you. And nice to meet you, Marta. Marta, thank you so much for the wonderful sharing setup. It's really amazing. So that today I'm going to share something with you that how actually I'm doing it, especially during this lockdown. Okay, because that I understand that a lot of us that during this lockdown, we need to do a prospecting at home. So how are you going to do a prospecting at home? Sometimes that we always cracking our heads at how are we going to do it, because that if we only have, for example, if we only have 1 or 2 person in our listing, correct now, when every time my leader or my director always asks me to say, Michelle, it's so important to you have enough of listing. You know, no matter whatever you want to achieve in this industry, the first thing first, what you need to do is a listing, correct now. You need to have enough a list of people in order for us to continue our business. So people is our main resources. Are you agree with me? So people is our main resources. We need to have people to continue our business. So, okay, today I'm going to share with you, if you have pen and paper together with you, okay, so you get ready your pen and paper. So what I'm going to do today is, let me share with you how am I going to do from one prospect, means that from one person, okay, you start with one person, how are you going to expand from one person to 5 persons, from 5 to 10, and 10 to 50, okay? Let me share with you my real life experience. As and when, every time when we talk about prospect, I always have that part of mindset. Last time when I start working in it, I was just thinking the prospect means one person, correct? Not one person. So that's one person means what? There's only one person. Every time I look at it, it's only as one. So every time when I do a business, I make a mistake for the previously. I always go to one person, I close the deal, and I go off. Means I hit and run. Okay, so that's why I realized that if I continue to doing that, I need to have a lot of names. I need to generate a long listing of names. I need to have a lot of new contacts for me to keep doing that, to keep my business keep going, correct or not? So I changed slightly of my way of doing it. Instead, just only focus on one prospect, means that one person. I changed my way to, I focus to the family. How to do that? Okay, so first of all, you can actually take down your pen and paper to write it down, the top 5 names that you are thinking right now in your mind. Okay, you have it in your mind. It might be your friends, it might be your existing customer, it might be a prospect that you have been talking about it. Okay, so you can just write it down first. Okay, so after that, what I'm going to do usually that when I have that name, I always will write it at the back. For example, the first one, my first customer will be, first prospect will be Manju, for example. I will write it down, Manju name, and at the back, I will just put it at the back that how many family members that he or she has. Get it? So means I write the name, then I'll put it at the back that how many family members that they have. Okay, you can get all the listing from like what Marta shared just now, you know, you can get it from the events, you know, you can get it from the webinar, you can get it as COI, all this, you know, you can get the name. But when you get the name as a one person name, how are you going to expand to the family? You always write it down as you know how many family members that they have at the back of the name. Okay, so right now, when you try to write this down, your prospect listing is no longer to be just only 1%. You are focusing with an end in mind, the whole family. So we are doing prospecting for the family, not for one-to-one person. Okay, so let me share with you what is the benefit of doing this. Okay, the benefit of doing this is because that you always have an end in mind. You see, you always have to understand that from one prospect that you're looking at it now, there's one prospect, right? That how are you going to expand to more and more family members? Is that first thing first, you have to understand that the purpose of us is doing this is we want to get to know the person behind the prospect. You want to get to know them. You want to go into the family to be their family financial advisor. You are just not only want to be his or her advisor, you want to be the whole family advisor. So there is a whole purpose that for you to actually to write it down your prospect as a first stage, and you draw it out the client mapping. I'm telling you this is that what are you looking at here now is that how actually I'm doing it, the client mapping. How actually I do it before I even go out to see my prospect or my customer. I will draw a client mapping first. I will start with one prospect and I will go in to the family like the wife. Okay, so in a family, for example, we have husband, we have wife, for example, we have 3 children. So how many prospects in the family you have right now? 5, correct or not? So from these 5 prospects, how am I going to extend to the next layer? I will write down a circle for the wife, the prospect wife. Okay, the prospect wife also have the parents. Okay, so parent side, there's 2 persons already, husband and wife, father, mother. And then how about the siblings? Brother, sister. And then the second layer, how about their relative? They have cousins, you know, they have a lot of relatives. They have all the family members, and then the list is actually keep going layer by layer. Okay, so when you see that the list is expanding, when you try to draw the prospect client mapping, you will find that wow, in fact, that one family for one prospect you can expand to so many people. Okay, I started this when I tried to actually numbers out my cases. I still remember that I started with 50 over cases a year before. And then after that, when I implement this, actually my cases is I zoom up to 150 over cases because I've been using the client mapping. Okay, so it's so important for you to actually to have a look into this, because when every time when you write down the prospect listing, always remember you must have something end with your mind is that I just don't only want to do business with this prospect, I want to do business with the whole family members. Okay, so when come to this, when you draw your prospect listing and you draw the client mapping, you need to really list it down. For example, wife, how many siblings a wife have? Then you just write it down. You know, you just draw the chart and then it keeps expanding and expanding. It can be first layer, the customer immediate family, the father, mother, and then the second layer can be the sister husband, the sister husband's children, and it can be extended to the last layer, the third layer, it can be the children friends, the family members, the children's cousins, and all this and keep expanding. So this is why actually I'm doing this. And then it's very important for you to do that because you know why? It's easier for you to ask for the client mapping in future. Maybe we can go out from the slide that I can actually just talk. Yeah, okay. So it's good for you to do that. You know why? After you have all this in your mind, when you go to see the prospect, when you talk to them, you will know what is the right question to ask. For example, you can ask them to say that day when I talk to you, you know, which is the siblings or sister brothers is closer to you. You know, you can even ask them these sort of questions. Ask them that which one is they're closer with. You know, when you go to their house, you are no longer just walk into the house to see the prospect. You will tend to more be observant. You will want to know that who is actually surrounding them, their brothers, the sisters, or who is closer with them. You know why you need to do that? Because if you're doing that, right, you have this something in your mind, when you try to do a fact finding, then you will ask the related questions. You will ask, how's your sister doing? You know, what type of career your sister in? Or a sister is doing a business or something like that. So you are starting actually doing a fact finding and prospecting through during your conversation with this prospect. So you see, from one prospect, by doing that, you can actually expand to many, many layers in line. Okay, so I just want to share with you one example how I do it when during this lockdown time. When every time I have a Zoom or video call with my customer, is already my customer, and I want them to introduce me someone new. Okay, then I always go back to the client mapping. Then I look at it. Okay, I look at it. I know that this particular customer is very close with the sister. Okay, then I will ask to say that let's go on Zoom. Okay, is that possible to invite your sister together? So three of us will actually go on Zoom together just to talk about anything, topics that you think that he or she interested. Okay, so from there you can get to know that person. You can build the relationship. See, so when people ask me, Michelle, how usually you ask referral from the client mapping? I will always use this way. I will ask direct. I will tell my customer to say that, for example, Mr. Kumar, that day I met you and I know that you're very close with your brother. Okay, and do you think that these financial plannings ideas or family protection ideas is actually very useful for him? Can you actually set up a meeting for three of us to come in and talk together? I will mention it directly. I will just let my customer to know that I want to meet that particular person. I want to meet your brother. I want to meet your sister. Because sometimes it's so hard for them to think of the name immediately to give it to you when you ask for referral. So I will just appoint directly. Because I can do that, because that I have the client mapping with me. I know that who is actually in their family and who is actually not my client yet. And my purpose of doing that is that I'm going to make all these customers in my client mapping to become my customer. So I always starting with something and in my mind that I want to make all of them to become my customer. Okay, so that I have a full listing. So my listing will be keep on generate new list. You know, every time when you need a new prospect, you will know that where you find your customer. It's all from the client mapping. Because you can just immediately right now, you can just take out one name, you can just immediately draw. You know, this is why I always tell the agents to say that you can start a business with just one person. If you only know one person, how are you going to start the business? Some customer might not be affordable to buy from you right now, but always remember, this customer can be your introducer. You can even draw their name into the client mapping, because you know why? They can actually be your central influence. They might not be rich enough to buy from you, but they have a friends who are affordable to buy. They have a family members who are doing well. They might knowing somebody in the community that full for influence. You see, so if we draw the client mapping, we will know it more clearly that who we're going to lead us to some people that we want, to someone that the customers that we desire. You know, client mapping also can use it into that way. So I share with you one of the example. There's one of my customer. I started the business with her for just only a very minimum deal. It's only 200 ringgit Malaysia a year with a personal accident. Okay, then I start to draw the client mapping because I find that this is a family that I can actually develop. So when I start to draw the client mapping, I realize that her family is very, I mean, a lot of cousins, you know, a lot of family members inside the families. So when I start to draw it, I realize that a lot of them, not even my customer yet. So I start to using the way that I shared just now. I approach her to say that, can you actually link me up, you know, to your cousin, to your uncle, okay? Then by, I think 2 years time, I actually able to generate 78 policy in one family from one prospect. Just only from one prospect, in 2 years, I'm able to sell them 78 policies. Because of why? Because that she always refer me to the customer. She always refer me to say that Michelle is very good because Michelle is actually doing my family financial advisor. Okay, Michelle is my family financial advisor. So right now you are my cousin. I want to get someone, I want to introduce someone good for you. So that's where actually the family tree is keep expanding to 5 to 10 10 times doing my sales. You know, this is one of the way. And another one that I still remember, I only started with one sister just recently, because this customer, actually, I get to know this customer from one of the roadshow, because we have a roadshow in one of the mall. Then I get the listing from this, just only purely one customer, because I don't know how to start about it. And when I get to know her, then I have a business with her. I just only sold her one policy. Then I start to ask for referral. Then I realized that she actually had 3 sisters. So my chart expand from one, this lady, and then expand to 3 sisters. There's only at the beginning of my chart, there's only 3 people in the chart. Okay, 4 people plus a prospect. Okay, then after that, I try to talk to the prospect to see that, is it possible for you to introduce me to one of your sister, your closest one? You know, you always talk to her one. So she actually linked me up to one of her sister. Then from there, she told the sister, if you want to get insurance, if you want to buy insurance, okay, you only can buy from Michelle. Yeah, this is a statement that is make me so referable for her. If you want to buy insurance, you can only buy from Michelle. So this is very strong statements that your COI can talk about you. Do you know what this statement costs? After she said that, right, I meet up with the sister, because from the chart, I meet up with the sister. Then I managed to close the deal first day. Because of your COI give affirmations about your service. And it's back to why client mapping is so important. You know why it's so successful? It's because this is her sister. They have the same blood. Always remember that they trust their family members more than whatever we say. Okay? No matter how good we are, sometimes we say 1,000 times you are so good, you are so professionals, you know, just only one statement from the same family members, they have the same blood flow, will make you difference. See? So that's why that the sister actually bought the first policy from me. Then when I go back, I actually open up another new client mapping, her sister name. And I managed now to open to the daughter and the husband. This is how actually I start to expand my client mapping. This is how actually when I have a new family, I close a new case from that client mapping, I will move them out, then I'll open up a new one. So right now, I have a new page of client mapping for this particular sister. Okay, then now I actually only have 3 of them because the sister, now actually I'm planning, the daughter already become my customer. So the second pie chart is already there. Then right now, the husband actually in the midst of, during this time, I actually already proposed a plan for the husband. Then the husband actually have 3 sisters, the siblings. So it keeps on expanding. You know, your chart will be never ending as long as you are keep moving and keep seeing people. So this is how actually I'm doing it. And one of the ways I would like to share that a lot of people ask me, Michelle, after you have this client mapping, okay, how are you going to actually get to know the person that you want to know? Because that particular person might not be suitable to buy insurance from you, but you want to go through this COI, this introducer, to get to know the person that you want to know. How you actually handle that? Usually how I do it is actually, I always like to ask them to invite me to the common event. Okay, if I want to know this person and my prospect know this particular person, then I try to get closer. Okay, what should I do? I will always ask them to say that, can you invite me to a common event that both of us will be attend? Okay, both of us will be attend together. For example, it might be some party, it might be some family gathering, you know, it might be some car show, or any small gathering, tea gathering, or all this, it might be that. So that's why I will ask that, can you actually bring me along so that I can actually talk to that particular person? Okay, so when during the meetup, usually I will not talk about sales. No. Usually that I will build relationship, and I will ask my COI to say something about me, to refer me, to link up to that particular person. Usually my COI will say that Michelle is my family advisor. Okay, it's not just Michelle is my advisor. Michelle is my family advisor. What I try to do that is that I just want to let the particular person know that I already have trust with this person. Okay, and I am the family advisor. I'm not just only her advisor, I'm her whole family advisor. So this statement actually is conceived of conditioning. Means that you condition the customer, the future prospect, to say that you are actually serving the whole family so that they can actually trust you. This is one of the way that statements I always, I always share with my COI before they actually bring me to the common events. So this is one of the way that I extending my client mapping. That's how it's over interlinked. Like for example, today, if you get a new name from any of sources, COI is called central influence. Means that someone can talk good about you. Okay, someone can actually, as long as people ask about where to buy insurance, then first thing first is the person is that you must get it from Michelle. This is your COI. You need to build a very strong COI. So how are you going to do that? Is that when you have the client mapping, back to the client mapping, you will know that in the family, who is your strongest COI? Because if you don't draw it out, you don't see it, right? You don't know who is actually in the listing. You don't know who is actually is your strong prospect or strong COI. When you draw it out, you will see clearly, oh, because of this particular person, my circle have been expanding so many, then he or she will be your very strong COI onto that. You see? So that's why this is very important for you. Always go back to the client mapping to see, to find the right person, to find the right customer, and to find who is your next prospect for you to go and approach. So client mapping is very powerful tools for you to start with business, only even though you start with one person. Okay, as long as you really go back and draw it and take a pen and pencil just to draw a minor circle starting with one person, and you will see how amazing that's going to expand. Okay, how actually I doing that at the beginning? I draw my own family. I draw my own family client mapping to see how much or how far I can go from this map. You know why? After that, I realized that I still have a lot of cousins, which that my own family people that is not even my client yet. You can always start with something, your own family first. And then you can start with your own families, your own friends, anybody that you know that they are influential enough that you want to get to know them, or you want to know that how to get closer to them. And you can actually look into from the client mapping as well. Okay, this is how my way of actually doing it into client mapping, and I really, really love it because that I find that I right now, if you ask me, do I have worry about the prospect listing, I will tell you, even though you can just give me 1 or 2 names, I can help you to expand to 20 to 30 names. Okay, so this is one of the ways I find that everyone should actually trying it. And then the client mapping is really one of the tools that we can actually do it at home during this lockdown. You don't need to have any special tools. What you need to do right now is just a pen and paper that you can immediately to start your client mapping and prospecting at home, even right now. So that's what we always doing. This is what I always like to do is actually, I just want to take out a piece of paper and I just start drawing. I just start drawing and I just start to fill up the names. I want to see that from one family, how many maximums I can go. Okay, so this is my sharing today. If you have any questions that you want to ask or you want to know further, that you can always ask me after that. Okay, I think I pass back to Indresh.
Yeah. So thank you, Michelle. Wonderful sharing, and family prospecting is something which is a very good idea. I think a lot of people have taken down notes and they are going to implement this idea of yours. So thank you. Now I'd like to call upon Ravi. Ravi is our country chair, MDIT MCC country chair. He wants to share some ideas with us. Yeah, Ravi.
Yes. Thank you, Indresh. Right now, the only ideas that I am taking back is, from what Martha said. The first thing I did was I've already sent her a LinkedIn request. So kindly accept that. Okay.
Yes, we are already friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just already spoke to a professional to get my profile updated. So,
wow.
I'm a fast learner. Thank you. So yeah. So I'm going to share that number with all my friends. She's a professional. I just spoke to somebody and I thought, it's important. Yeah. And So you organize the events, and I've made a note so to speak to my chartered accountant and to a stockbroker for having the events on a webinar. Yeah, and I'm going to say this in my local language, Martha, for everybody. So Martha ने कहा कि आप अपने customer से पूछिए, ask your customer that are you satisfied with the way you have, with the way I have been dealing with you or with my services. So you need to ask this, अपने customer से ये पूछिए, ये बहुत ही powerful question है. And next is, what do you want from me? आप मुझसे क्या चाहते हो कि what do you want me to improve on? So very powerful questions. आपको, you will get a clear insight about how your relationship has been with the client, and it's a good way to move ahead. So that's what I'm taking from Marta's session. And so I don't want to share anything of mine as of now, because you two ladies have shared such wonderful ideas. I think we all should first make use of them. And Michelle, your family chart, I have already, the top 20, what Martha said, I had already made the list, top 10 for making the family charts. 4 of them are complete. I have, from your last session, I have already taken prospects names from the previous one. And I was just sharing before, Martha could come online, that I managed to close also one of the prospects family tree. So thank you so much.
Wow.
So,
that's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So I just want सब लोग को यही कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये जो ideas इन्होंने share किया है, they are workable, they are absolutely tried and tested by them. So it's very important कि हम लोग भी उस पे ही काम करें, and we should work on them. And amazing, another thing both of them shared were about creating credibility. How Michelle said that it's very important to create credibility. So that was something excellent. And another wonderful thing is so straightforward. You ask your center of influence to make you a part of their family meets. And I love the word when you said, Michelle, that that to introduce you as your family advisor, not just a financial advisor. Okay, so that creates a great connect. So thank you so much once again, Michelle, Marta, and
thank you so much for inviting and organizing this event. It was my really pleasure to be here with you, and my experience is that, for example, MDRT made a huge effect in my career. MDRT is about sharing the knowledge and helping each other to raise, and just thank you so much for organizing this.
Thank you so much once again. Thank you. And I'm sure we will connect with you all once you have, and you have so much more to share. I know you were short of time, and so was Michelle. She also have lots to share. We will connect with you all so that we could have you all once more again. Thank you, and stay blessed, stay safe, and stay home. Thank you. Sudhakar, you can take this over.
Thank you, Ravi.
Go ahead, Indresh.
Yeah, so thank you each and everyone. Here I'd like to thank again Vivek, Krishna, MDRT, MCC India team, Ravi Rajpal and Sudhakar Gabriel for being the co-host. So for having this wonderful event, thank you each and everyone. Stay safe. So stay tuned for the next